Benjamin Franklin and his diplomatic journey. In 1776, amidst the American Revolutionary War, the Continental Congress sent Benjamin Franklin to France. The American colonists fighting against the formidable British Army needed allies, and France was a key candidate. The French government, aiming to weaken Great Britain, could provide the necessary military and financial support. Franklin arrived in Paris at the end of 1776 aboard the ship Reprisal. His journey across the Atlantic was challenging. Besides the threat of British ships, there was severe weather and illness. However, Franklin, already in his venerable age, endured all trials and arrived in Europe with a determination to succeed. In Paris, Franklin settled in a house on Rue Reynard in the suburb of Passy. This house soon became the center of American diplomacy and a meeting place for many prominent French intellectuals and politicians. Franklin quickly realized that for the success of his mission, he needed not only formal communication with official figures, but also to win the sympathy of French society. Franklin quickly became a popular figure in Paris. Unlike the formal diplomats of the time who wore lavish attire and adhered to strict protocol, Franklin preferred modest clothing and simplicity in communication. He wore simple brown woolen clothes and a round hat, which distinguished him among the French elite. The French were charmed by his democratic style and wit. Franklin often visited salons where intellectuals and aristocrats gathered. One such salon was hosted by Madame Helvetius, the widow of the renowned philosopher Claude Adrien Helvetius. In these salons, Franklin talked about life in America, shared his scientific discoveries, and discussed political ideas. His witty conversations and stories won the hearts of the French. Franklin also established close ties with influential French politicians such as Charles Gravier, Count of Vergennes, as the French Minister of Foreign Affairs. Vergennes became an important ally of Franklin and helped him convince the French government of the necessity of supporting the American struggle for independence. Franklin succeeded in convincing the French government of the importance of the American struggle for independence. In February 1778, France officially recognized the United States of America and entered the war on the side of the colonies. This was a tremendous success for Franklin and a crucial step towards victory in the war. French support was multifaceted. Firstly, French troops led by the Marquis de Lafayette went to America to fight alongside the American revolutionaries. Lafayette became a close friend and ally of George Washington, strengthening the ties between the two nations. Secondly, France provided significant financial assistance. Without French loans and subsidies, the American army could not have continued the fight. French money was used to purchase weapons, ammunition, and other necessary materials. Thirdly, the French fleet played a decisive role in the war. French ships blockaded British ports and helped the Americans win key naval battles, such as the Battle of Chesapeake Bay. This victory was crucial for the siege of Yorktown, which ended with the surrender of the British Army under the command of General Cornwallis. Franklin not only established political and military connections, but also promoted cultural exchange between France and America. He brought samples of American goods to Paris, such as maize and turkey, and talked about life in the New World. Franklin also actively participated in the activities of the French Academy of Sciences and exchanged scientific ideas with French scholars. Franklin was admitted to numerous scientific and philosophical societies in France. His inventions and discoveries in the field of electricity were highly appreciated by French scientists. He regularly interacted with such eminent figures as Antoine Lavoisier, the founder of modern chemistry, and Pierre-Simon Laplace, a renowned mathematician and astronomer. Franklin also formed many personal and friendly relationships in France. He was infatuated with Madame Brillon, a talented and educated woman with whom he developed a deep friendship. Their correspondence, full of wit and warmth, became well known through preserved letters. Franklin often hosted dinners and parties attended by leading figures of French society. These events helped strengthen his connections and advance the interests of his country. Franklin used his charm and wit to win the support of important individuals and gain their favor. Franklin remained in France until 1785, working to strengthen American-French relations. When the Revolutionary War ended with the victory of the Americans in 1783, Franklin played a key role in negotiating the Treaty of Paris. This treaty recognized the independence of the United States and established new boundaries for the country. When Franklin returned to America, he was welcomed as a hero. He was honored with numerous accolades and became one of the most respected statesmen of his time. His experience and connections acquired in France continued to benefit his country even after his return. The story of how Benjamin Franklin conquered Paris and secured France's support is a remarkable example of his diplomatic mastery and ability to connect with people of different cultures. His success in France was one of the decisive factors leading to the victory of the American colonies in the Revolutionary War. This story also shows that great achievements often require not only intellectual efforts but also personal charisma, diplomatic talent, and the ability to build relationships. Franklin was able to use his popularity and respect to achieve important goals for his country, leaving an indelible mark in history as one of the greatest diplomats of his time. Franklin demonstrated that successful diplomacy depends on the ability to understand and respect the culture and customs of other nations. His approach, based on friendship and cooperation, had a significant impact on international relations and served as an example for future generations of diplomats. Today, his legacy lives on in numerous institutions and monuments both in the United States and France. His life and work continue to inspire and teach us the importance of intercultural understanding and cooperation in achieving common goals.